Hello, good afternoon. I am really, really happy to have Claire Farmer with me today. So, Claire actually started the course in May 2021. So, we're going to talk a little bit about where she was before then, her experience on the course, and what she's doing now. So, back in May 21, which is quite a long time ago, it feels just over 2 years ago, what was
Yeah.
making you think, right, I'm going to do some coach training?
I think because I've always, like, even in my professional life, I've quite naturally veered towards getting other people to come up with their own solutions.
Mm,
And I understood a little bit about coaching, but I was very clear that apart from a few people who still needed real directive, a directive approach, and were very uncomfortable with any kind of coming up with things themselves, that it works. And so I
mm,
wanted to formalize that into something that would develop me and ongoing, and as well as supporting and developing others. And I guess I wanted another string to my bow because I was just starting to think about a bit more seriously about having my own business, I suppose. Yeah.
And just so people know, so you're a former head teacher, aren't you?
I am indeed. I am indeed. So mainstream and special school, and came out of that properly in 2020, March 2020, just before COVID hit.
So a year later, want
Yep.
to add some skills, formalize what I'm already doing, came into the diploma. And what was your experience like on the diploma?
So it was a wonderful experience. It was intense because I did the weekend, one weekend a month. I don't know if you still do
We
those.
don't still do that, no. We don't
Oh,
still do
okay.
that.
So
Yeah,
I did
because
that.
of some feedback like that, it was like, oh, actually, we just do Saturday mornings now.
Wow.
Rather
Okay.
than
So
doing
yeah.
it
So I
full time.
did Saturday and Sunday all day. Um, but it worked for me because I got to do it all in one chunk, and you really got to get to the kind of like the depth of
Mm,
everything and to be able to practice. I had a wonderful group. We're still in touch, not that frequently, but we're in touch as a whole group, and still as individuals as well. And I guess that's it. The people who are attracted to it are the people who, like me, are genuinely committed to
mm.
their own development. So we were all in the same boat, no matter what our backgrounds were. And I would say I was thinking, what's the word? If I had to use a word, it would be authentic. That sense of joining something where it's really about you and it's
Mm.
really about others, but it's really it's if you put into it what you want to get out of it, it's just very real,
Yeah,
and the people you're dealing with are very real and very human, and there's no gimmicks. That's what I loved about it.
I love that. And then you graduated, and
Mm.
now tell us a little bit about how you're using coaching now and your business, because back in 2021, the business was just at the beginning, wasn't it?
It was. So I Neurodive Limited. I just after I started the coaching diploma, I got my formal autism diagnosis.
Mm,
And it was something, we'd known. It was a joke in my house anyway, about the fact that that was just a formality. But I did look at how people who are neurodivergent, with a diagnosis or not,
mm,
struggle in the workplace. So that was what I wanted to do in terms of supporting, having had my own experiences where, like lovely Pete Warmby, who I don't know personally, put something out there recently around clarifying questions, that as an autistic person, I will ask lots of questions because
mm.
I appear very confident. That will then make people feel quite threatened, and I've had that a lot in my career. So I wanted to do something that supported others, and that's both on a coaching level. So I do coaching, and I'm in conversation next week to start up something with a global company to look at their neuro inclusion.
Amazing.
So that's really exciting. And I'm also writing a book around neurodivergence in the workplace for individuals with Jessica Kingsley Publishing. So yeah, a lot has happened. And I work with school leaders as well, because I did kind of get to that. I'm not doing schools. And then I thought, well, what do I know? I avoided it because I didn't want to be the expert in the room as a coach. That was it.
Yeah.
I thought, I don't want to be in that position where I'm wanting to tell someone what to do.
Yeah.
And that's why I had avoided it. What I've done instead is help do training for leadership teams around coaching as a culture.
I know that you've shared with me that you've done it at a couple of places and they absolutely loved it. Didn't they just make you keep continuing when you were doing it?
Yeah, so I did that, and then I was invited back, and then there's I suspect I'll be back in probably on retainer to do some both coaching leadership team, and they want me to do training with their middle leaders now as well, because the head said it was the most impactful training that they think they've had, because it wasn't about the trainer, it was actually about changing their own lens and thinking about their own practice. It was all around line management. We talked about all sorts of things. You know, can you really call something, you know, performance appraisal and be a coach? You know, so we kind of got into the nitty gritty of what schools are like in terms of hierarchy and the what you can do and what you can't do with coaching. So it was brilliant. I loved it.
I am sure that you'll be on retainer with them. So it sounds like an authentic journey, a real journey. Now, actually, from kind of not really having a business to now working with schools, doing things, you know, under Neurodive, potentially with a global organization, which I know there will be global organizations you're doing that with, and then also writing a book. So quite a lot in 2 years.
It's a lot, and I think it's important to note that I know that if I got to a point where I thought, you know what, I want to do the next thing, or I need a bit of support or questions. I mean, how many times do I drop you a line and you know, but like Julia and the people who supported me through are still there in my life. So it's not, this sounds really cheesy, but it's not just the course.
I like the cheese.
Yeah, but it's true. It is true. And as you know, I'm not one for fluffy, woolly things that I don't mean anyway.
I know. So, if somebody's thinking about joining now, what would you say to them?
What I'd say to anyone really is, what do you want out of it first? Be clear about what you want, because it may well not be for everyone. I'd question that person where they're coming from if it wasn't for them. However, it's really important for them to know, you know, are they looking to make a quick buck? And if they are, then, you know, maybe it's
Maybe not.
maybe not for them. But actually, if they genuinely want to develop themselves with a group of people who are highly experienced, professional, and at the same time incredibly human, then I wouldn't bat an eyelid about it, to be honest, because ongoing. Like, I want to do the group one, so I want to
the team
so
one.
I will be in touch soon. The team one, yeah. So I will be in touch soon about that. Yeah, it's worth it. What you put in, you get back tenfold. And I'm not talking, I mean, there is a financial element if you really want to do it, but it's got to come from you.
Yeah, I agree. And that's actually what I say to people on calls. So I love that too. So you mentioned Neurodive. Where can people find you if they want to find out more about what you do?
So I've got a website, but it's pretty much just a landing page, because I haven't needed very much else, to be honest. But I am starting to develop it. it would be great. You can contact me through there. So it's www.neurodive.uk. You can find me on LinkedIn. It's got everything there as well. I do a newsletter mainly for organisations around neurodivergence and being neuro-inclusive. I'm due to do one. Actually, that's what you get for having a summer holiday and a baby at home. Not a lot of space and time to do that kind of thing. And I'm also co-chair of the Autistic Girls Network, so I'm around, I'm about, and I'm always open to hearing from people.
Thank you. So thank you so much, Claire. It was great to have you on the course. If you want to find out more, you can click the links here and enjoy your day. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.